Hi everyone, and welcome to another fact of the day. Way! Bit of a different start for you here. Not seeing a picture of the world. Instead, it is this beautiful animal here. Can you tell me what it is? Well done if you said barn owl. Barn owl. Get them in this country, get them up here. Sometimes see them flying at night time if you're driving along in the car, and it'll suddenly appear in front of your headlights every now and then. Which is why I've actually picked the barn owl, due to the fact that it hunts at night time. Do you know what it's called when an animal is asleep during the day and awake at night? Well done if you said nocturnal. An animal is nocturnal if it is active at night time. But why do some animals choose to do that? Well, you can have a pause, have a think. But if not, let's go through it. One of the first things might be food. It might be when its food is available. For instance, this owl here will hunt little voles which come out at night, so obviously it needs to come out at night as well. Might be to avoid predators. If you've got a predator with amazing eyesight, you might want to wait till it's dark, and then its eyesight, the eyesight of the predator, is completely useless. So it might be that. Another one is to avoid heat. Daytime might be too hot for you. So if you come out at night, it'll be far cooler when the sun is down. So that's one of the reasons. This barn owl here, like I said, it might hunt in the pitch black. Do you know how it does it? It tends to use its hearing. It's got amazing hearing. It'll just sit up in a tree or something, and it'll listen. And it'll listen. And even if it's pitch black, it'll fly down and it'll be able to pick out exactly where this little vole or mouse is scurrying about the bottom of the forest floor. Amazing. So let's take a look at some other nocturnal animals. I'm going to stick mainly to the ones that we'll find in Scotland and Britain, but the first one isn't, as you can see. It is a hippo. Definitely not found here unless it's in a zoo. Now, hippos are mainly nocturnal, but as you can see in the picture, you're thinking, hang on, that's in the daytime. Well, just because an animal is nocturnal doesn't mean it can't be active during the daytime. I mean, sometimes you'll find barn owls flying in the daytime as well. Um, but it is when they are mainly active at night if an animal is nocturnal. One of the reasons why hippos are nocturnal is because they can't sweat. And you'll be thinking, what? What am I talking about? Well, why do we sweat? Well, the answer is to keep us cool. It's our way of our bodies to not overheat. So when you do exercise and run about all over the place, you start to sweat. And that's your body keeping itself cool. Hippos can't do that. So if they're in a very hot country, which they are in, then not sweating, not being able to sweat will become a problem. So if they are out at night time, it's much cooler. So that's one of the reasons. I'm just going to show you something here. Can't have a fact of the day without going on to Google Earth. Check out all these hippos in the daytime, and they're all wallowing in the mud and the water. There's hundreds of them, all keeping themselves cool. Quite a famous picture that Google Earth picked up. What am I doing there? There we go. Picked up, which I thought you might like. Do you know what continent they live on? Let's just zoom out and see if you're right. Let's zoom right out. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. Oh, it's looking nice and green there. Sort of jungle, hot areas. Oh, we've got a big lake there. And whoa! So they were about here. What continent is this? Big clue is this massive desert here, the Sahara. They live in Africa, the continent of Africa. So let's go back to the slideshow here. And if you're in Africa, Don't go near one of these. They are so dangerous, and here's why. Oh, that is some giant teeth. And in fact, their teeth here can grow bigger than a T-Rex's tooth could. So a T-Rex, I think its teeth was, say, about the size of a banana. Some hippos, their teeth can grow twice that size. Some of them, absolutely incredible, terrifying. And their jaws can go very wide, very dangerous. Don't go near one if you happen to come across one. Okay. One of the reasons is they're very territorial. They like to protect their territory. Anything comes near their bit of water, their piece of land, they're going to chase you away or attack you. So there we go. So let's move on to some of the animals in Britain. Badger. Badgers are nocturnal. And what else do we have here? Moths. Moths are nocturnal. And cute hedgehogs as well. Hedgehogs are nocturnal. Again, all these pictures are in the daytime, but they are mainly active at night. So you might have heard of nocturnal, but do you know what it's called when an animal is awake during the day and it's asleep at night, like we are? We've mainly evolved that way because it's so dark at night, and we can't see in the dark, and our hearing, that's okay, but it's nothing compared to that of a barn, I will say. Our smell's okay, but it's nothing compared to, say, a fox. So we tend to be awake during the daytime. Okay, so animals that are awake during the daytime aren't nocturnal, they are diurnal. Diurnal, fancy word, diurnal. Let's have a look at some. Some beautiful swallows. Keep an eye out for these. These are coming back. They don't live here in the winter. They fly all the way to Africa, and then they fly back here for the summer, and they're just returning. So if you see one of these beautiful swallows, you just think they've flown probably about 3,000 miles just to get here, including, more than likely, the Sahara Desert. So they're quite easy to spot. They're quite small, but look for the lovely forked tail at the back, and you can't really go wrong. So they'll be around for the next few months before they head off back to Africa. So they are diurnal. They have amazing eyesight. They catch insects in the air. You won't see them land very much, sometimes on the telegraph wires, but they do all their hunting in the air. They are amazing acrobats, and they can catch all these insects in the air. Just amazing. Obviously, they wouldn't be able to do that at night, so they hunt during the daytime. Next, we have a blackbird. Lovely blackbird. Have a look out for these in the garden. They'll be very busy making their nests, feeding their young, looking for insects and worms. Again, how are they going to find that? In the dark. So they are also diurnal. And big fancy word coming up. There is a very fancy word for animals that kind of come out in between. So not at night and not in the daytime, but when the sun's coming up, just when the sun's coming up and going down, what you would call twilight. So dawn and dusk. And the reason is, scientists reckon, is that it's just light enough for an animal to see what it's doing, see its prey, see its food, just light enough, but just dark enough to hide from predators. It's not quite light enough. A lot of predators, their eyesight isn't that great during dawn and dusk. It's just not quite light enough. So there are animals that are mainly active at dawn and dusk. And there is a big fancy word coming up here. Drum roll, please. Crepuscular. Crepuscular animals come out at dawn and dusk, mainly. And the first one we'll look at is a rabbit. Rabbits are mainly active at dawn and dusk. They can be active during the night and during the day as well, but mainly active at dawn and dusk. The badger is as well. The badger is kind of a bit of both. He's nocturnal, and they're also crepuscular as well. And the last one, we shall end this on the beautiful fox. Gorgeous looking animal. Foxes are crepuscular. So they are mainly active at dawn and dusk. I'd imagine one of the reasons is because that's when its prey is active. For instance, rabbits. Foxes have amazing eyesight, but they also have amazing hearing and amazing smell. And that's why you don't tend to see them. They are very wary. Wary just means they're very careful, they're very cautious. They stay away from things they don't know what it is. For instance, they'll know a smell of a rabbit. Ooh, I smell a rabbit nearby. But if they smell you coming, and they'll smell you from a long way away, or even hear you, then they'll just go the other way. So you're very, very lucky if you see a fox. Very wary, but very beautiful, and they are crepuscular. So there you go. There is your fact of the day. Well, there's kind of three almost there. Nocturnal animals come out at night. Diurnal animals come out in the daytime. And crepuscular animals come out right in between dawn and dusk, sunrise and sunset. Well, there you go. Hope you enjoyed it, and we shall see you next time. Africa there. Right, see you later. See you tomorrow, guys.